There's a difference between teaching them about real life and teaching them an ideology.
Correct.
And you are overstepping the parents' boundaries when you teach them an ideology.
So welcome back. I am here with the one and only Miss Blaire White. We're in Austin, Texas, and we filmed something for
me.
When it is up, I will have the link in the description for you guys, and I'm sure I'll tweet about it and such too.
Yeah, something really fun.
Yeah, but we can't talk about it yet. It's a surprise, but we did film something for her. And now we're gonna talk about the bullshit leftist, crazy LGBT people that are teachers on TikTok.
Oh. Oh my God. Okay, yeah, we're good.
Because listen, just because somebody is lesbian or trans doesn't mean that we're crazy.
Right, only kind of.
Or a little bit.
Only
in
kind
a good way.
of. Only kind of. There's good crazy and then there's like harmful crazy.
Hi, my name's Az and I'm a preschool teacher. So my classroom celebrates diversity. It's probably my favorite thing to teach. We usually use kids' books to talk about this kind of thing. Recently we started wearing pronoun pins and the kids get to pick a new pronoun pin every day. We have some that pick like she, her every single day. And we have some that change it up.
So what do you think about that? Different pronoun pins every day for 4-year-olds.
Oh my God. First of all,
we've spoken about this.
Why do they always look like children themselves? Like these people seem to be caught in the mindset of a child. Pronouns are not Pokemon cards. You're not supposed to collect them, trade them, swap them in. Like it'd be one thing. It's like if there wasn't serious ramifications long term, but like you're setting these kids on a trajectory toward puberty blockers. It's not just pronouns.
Right.
If you start confusing a kid about what their gender is early on, that's the trajectory.
This doesn't even have to be necessarily about gender because people aren't even like actual gender, how you and I understand it, like gender, like being gender dysphoric or not being gender dysphoric. This doesn't even mean that to them anymore.
No.
This is how I feel today. I feel more masculine and more feminine.
Right, which
Back
is like,
in the day,
congrats, but...
Yeah, that's like everybody on every day. Like you were even talking about that. You're like more dominant in your relationships no matter what. It's also because you're a Virgo.
Yeah, true. True. She would teach me about all the astrology.
It's true. Virgo's their way of the highway. And a Cancer's like, yes, ma'am. And we love every second of it. Joey does not love it. He does. He's like, I fucking love it.
Oh, yeah. He wouldn't have it any other way.
So I recently realized that there's a whole lot of really amazing figureheads and people to look up to in this world who aren't white or straight or male or what have you. And that we should learn a little bit more about these people.
A lot of the gender ideologues that we see, and you see them, they're all the teachers, it's very much a suburban white, never had a struggle in my life, female thing.
Yes, and that's a psychological thing that we need to have a therapist. Like, seriously.
Every video we do should have a therapist.
Because, like, what? It is a common theme. I'm not sure what it is exactly yet.
You don't see black teachers doing this?
No.
You don't see Mexican teachers doing this? You don't see Asian teachers doing this? This is such a white liberal thing. White liberals are destroying the planet.
All right, so something that's really cool and unique about who I am is that I am transgender. So we touched a little bit about that at the beginning of this week in the book that Miss Hammond read, but I'm going to give you my explanation about what it means to be transgender as well. So when babies are born, the doctor looks at them and they make a guess about whether the baby is a boy or a girl based on what they look like.
It's not a guess. They observe a penis or a vagina. Your gender is observed. Your gender is not assigned. It is observed. God, I hate that.
They're making the doctors look bad for doing their job.
If your ideology requires you to lie, that's not right. Like, you're lying. Doctors do not guess. And even in the whatever percent that are intersex and there's an anomaly on the outside exterior of the body, life isn't based on anomalies. Life is based on averages.
And most of the time that guess is 100% correct. There are no issues whatsoever. But sometimes the doctor is wrong. The doctor makes an incorrect guess. When the doctor makes a correct guess, that's when a person is called cisgender. When a doctor's guess is wrong, that's when they are transgender.
A tree with like leaves on it behind him. So I'm assuming these kids are like elementary school.
Yeah, his tone of voice indicates it's very young kids listening.
And the way he's speaking, right?
I'm a man, but when I was a baby, the doctors told my parents I was a girl. And until I was 18 years old, everyone thought I was a girl. And this was super, super uncomfortable for me because I knew that wasn't right. So when I was 18, I told my family and my friends that I'm really a boy, and it was like this huge weight had been lifted off of my shoulders, and I had the freedom to be who I truly am.
I feel like this is just a massive, and this is what's happening throughout the LGBT community right now, and with like racism and stuff too. It's an extreme amount of overcorrection.
Yes.
Is it okay if a kid actually experiences gender dysphoria and he comes out as trans and then the parents, of course, accept them? That's all okay. okay, this is too extreme because it's going to confuse kids. Because I know for a fact that if I was a kid growing up in today's world, I would 100% think I was like non-binary or trans.
Oh, of course.
100%. And I spoke about this in videos before. I didn't like my body, which is very typical of young females, right? Especially young gay females.
Yeah.
I like romantically was into women. I didn't know what sex was, but like romantically I liked women, and I didn't think you could like women unless you were a man. And I did all the boy things. Like I wore boys' clothes because I hated my body.
You'd
like,
be trans today.
I'd be trans.
And then here comes the what's wrong with being trans? She's not trans.
That's the point.
So it would have been bad.
Right, that's the point.
It's irreversible medical procedures that take place when a kid is trans. So it would have been bad. And you know what? Aside from him lying to them and saying doctors guess about a gender, which is a lie, which is false, it's either a delusion on his part or a lie, one of the two. Aside from that, everything is fine with what he's saying, other than the fact that he's saying it to like little kids.
6, 7-year-olds.
There is no reason to tell these kids this. Again, it's from a narcissistic place because it's all about you. You're filming it because you want these accolades on Twitter or on TikTok, wherever you're posting it. You want the validation from the kids too, which is very strange.
It's coming out as trans.
That means it's a teacher that's kind of not a guy and not a girl, like somewhere in between.
Oh, so you're kind of boy and you're kind of girl?
Kinda, yeah.
Me too, that's me.
Okay, right on.
I want to be a boy, but I don't like being a girl.
You know what? You have choices in this world to be all sorts of different things. I'm actually trans, so I'm not a tomboy. I'm trans.
Do you think this person's trans?
Of course not. I'm like dying.
Your eyes are so far rolled in the back of your head. It looks like you're sleeping.
Yeah. She very clearly needs attention, but she's doing it with kids, and that's so disgusting. And it's funny they even bring up is that a tomboy because the concept of tomboy has been virtually erased.
Yeah, you
by
can't be a
these
tomboy
people.
anymore. Yeah.
Right.
You hear the kid in the background say something like, "Oh, is that like mean? Like you're not really a girl, but you're not really a boy." I'm a girl, and I don't want to be a girl. I want to be a boy. And then the teacher's like, "Well, you can be anything you want." It's like that's not what being trans is.
100%.
That's not what it is.
I think it's a mix of a few things. I think this is a narcissist who is seeking validation and attention from children, which is first of all creepy, and also pushing an ideology on kids. And I don't know how old these kids are. They sound young, but maybe not, super duper young. But regardless,
I would guess elementary school. Yeah, where they sound.
Yeah, and it's like, what the are you doing, Miss Girl?
Okay, so this is my wife put together a preschool pride parade. I'll admit I'm on the fence with this one.
For me, I guess I just don't like when kids are waving a flag or a symbol of any kind that they cannot comprehend.
Completely understand. Right. Like Trump, when the little kid, or
especially if it's explicit like that. But even the gay flag, it's like, I just don't know how I feel about that, because is it really consensual if they don't understand what the flag is? Because flags have meaning. It's not just that they're, walking around and, especially the LGBT flag has a lot of meaning now. It's not just being kind and accepting
more political.
people.
Right, it is a political thing. Like I can't even put that in my bio without people thinking I'm crazy now. So it's 100% become a political logo, political brand. Yeah.
Actually, I'm not on the fence. I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't like it.
The only reason I'm on the fence is because I do think it's good that she's teaching the kids that it's good to be different and to celebrate being different, because it is. But I agree with you. I didn't think about it that way. It is kind of not consent. Like these kids aren't consenting. They really can't fully comprehend what these flags mean, and maybe the attention it might bring on them as well.
That's a very good point. You're putting their faces out onto the internet, and now people like us are reacting to it in a video. Yeah, like my nephew had to kneel during BLM. Yeah,
in California.
And he told me that, and I was like, "Did you really know what that meant and whatever?" And he's in high school, so he's not a child. But at the same time, it's like, no, he really didn't. This is a political topic that is so much bigger than kids. And I don't know, this one's iffy, but at the same time, like, kids are gonna find out there's gay people in the world. They don't need their preschool teacher to be taking them on pride parades. Like, I don't know. Stressing me out.
It's not the worst one.
It's what we do as educators. We build relationships with our kids. And in order to build relationships, you talk about your home life. You talk about what you do on the weekends. That's building community. It scares me to death that I am not going to be able to have these conversations with my children, because they're going to ask me what I did on the weekend. I don't want to have to hide that my partner and I went paddleboarding this weekend, because then they ask, well, what does partner mean, Mr. Bernard? And, I'm worried, can I tell them what it means? I'm also worried for my kids. I have a little girl this year who has 2 moms, and the kids are curious about her 2 moms. They want to know about her 2 moms.
Dude, it's not about you.
Yeah.
Like, all these teachers have this common trait of like, it's all about them. It's like, you're here to educate children. You have been assigned something that is, you know, people talk about teachers like in a certain way, but like, this is a very sacred role. You're teaching the youth the future of the country, and all you can think to talk about is your pronouns and you're gay.
There's so much more important things.
Don't say gay bill, which doesn't have the word gay in it.
It's not even, it's not even an accurate video.
You know, it doesn't make it so that you can't speak about, you know, your romantic partner.
Right.
It makes it so you can't talk about sex. And sexuality.
Right. Big difference between, like, the bill says sexual orientation, doesn't say romantic orientation, doesn't say family life.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't say, oh, like, I have friends of mine that are gay teachers, and they talk about, I don't know about in Florida, I don't think I have any friends that are gay teachers in Florida, but I have friends that are gay teachers in New York, and I mean, the law is different there, of course, but they don't talk about sex with their kids. They talk about, oh, like, me and my wife, we got married, blah, 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 and the kids, oh, how cute, da, da, da. That's it, the conversation's over. Teachers when I was a kid and versus teachers now.
It's so true, though.
I hope everyone had a good recess time for math.
Oh my God.
We would go outside and play handball. Like, that's like New York City thing. There's a wall and you throw the ball against the wall, you hit it with your hand. Mm-hmm. That's what we did back then. We didn't talk about gender and sexual orientation in 6th grade and like white privilege.
And it's so sad because it's like, I know a lot of people when they see stuff like this, they're saying, oh, so you think you can like convince a kid they're gay or trans? And it's like, no, I don't think you can make someone gay or trans. You can confuse a child.
Yes.
If they are gay or trans. Just, oh, they were confused for a while and then they figured out, it's like these kids are getting double mastectomies. These kids are getting on drugs and hormones that cause irreversible damage to their bodies. So it's not like it's a small thing.
The teachers have no business teaching kids about sexual orientation, gender identity at that age. That's the parent's problem. So this is that person's response to this.
I'm giving this dude one last chance to get the point. We don't like this. My community specifically does not like this. You want to know why personally I don't like this? Because when it's the parent's problem, that's how you get homophobic kids. That's how you get kids like me with internalized homophobia until they're like 18 or 19 because they finally started going to therapy.
People are gonna get mad at this. She's not well. Like, you can see it in the way she's speaking and her demeanor and her eyes. She's not well.
The eyes. It's always, libs of TikTok, it's always in the eyes.
Right, but
it's true.
It's so true. But the problem is these people that are not well are given a disproportional amount of control over society and power because people cater to them, partly because people don't want to hear their mouth, but they do anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, here's the thing. I think that teaching kids to be kind, to be inclusive, to be respectful of people that are different than them are all great virtues. And I think that every kid should be taught that because one day they're going to live in the world and they are going to encounter gay people, trans people, this person, that person, and they're going to have to learn how to coexist and be respectful. That doesn't have anything to do with teaching them gender ideology, about sex, sexuality. There's a difference between teaching them about real life and teaching them an ideology.
Correct.
And you are overstepping the parents' boundaries when you teach them an ideology. But it's like society just, the pendulum should never just stay in the middle. It's like, it has to be like, we're either beating up gay kids or we're telling kids they have to be gay. It's like, can we just get it together?
It's like, it's either one extreme or the other, and we haven't figured out this middle ground.
Yeah.
And I think, believe it or not, I think we are that middle ground, you and I.
Yeah, people pretend we're not.
But I think we are.
When you're on either end of the extreme, you're gonna see someone in the middle as extreme. Or you can't make a kid gay or trans, but you can absolutely confuse a kid as to if they are gay or trans, and that has horrible implications, especially with the trans part. There are 12-year-olds getting their breasts cut off. There are 12-year-olds being sterilized with the drug Lupron, which is the same drug we use to chemically castrate pedophiles in prisons. There is so much ethics to be considered when it comes to this and the implications on kids.
The issue is we didn't accept trans people and gay people for, so now we're going to overcorrect it and say that everybody is gay and trans.
Yeah. How about you don't beat up gay kids and you also don't worship them? How about that? How about they're just people? How about we're all just people? And also, how about leave kids the fuck alone? Like, kids are not a receptacle for your ideology or for your beliefs or for your orientation. Kids are there learning about the world, and for you to be someone that confuses them, gaslights them, uses them for accolades, attention, money, whatever, you're a disgusting person. I'm actually becoming much more radical on this issue. I'm sorry to go off like this.
No,
I'm actually becoming much more radical on this issue than I was maybe even like a few weeks ago. I used to think like, oh, these are just deluded people that don't know what they're doing. I think they're disgusting people. I no longer think they're just people that don't know what they're doing or they're idiots. I think they're disgusting bad people. And also, sometimes when I watch these, I forget that I'm trans too. I like see it from like the outside looking in. And I have to remember, I'm trans as well. If I was a teacher, would I be doing any of this? No, because I'm not a narcissist because I don't want to confuse children.
Right.
So that's how I know they're bad people because I would
I
never
agree
do
with that.
this, and I'm trans too.
I thought of that too. Like I have my two best friends. They both have kids. I don't sit there and talk to them about gender and sexual orientation and all these things. Like I tell them like, oh, if they ask me if I'm dating somebody or like, who is that? Oh, it's my girlfriend. Oh, okay, that's it. And they don't ask me any other questions.
Yeah.
If they did, I would have to ask their parents first. You know what I mean? I would always ask their parents because when it gets to sexual territory, I'm not talking to them about it.
100%.
Because obviously they're gonna know like I'm holding a girl's hand because I think that's fine to hold the straight people can do that, gay people can do it.
Yeah.
That's the boat I'm in.
And not everything has to be taught to kids. Sometimes
Right.
there's something to be said for letting kids observe the world that they're in.
Yes.
They're gonna see trans people. They're gonna see two women holding hands, two men holding hands. My nephew, my niece, the younger ones, they have only ever known me as Blaire, but my older nephew knew me beforehand.
Okay.
I didn't tell him that I was transitioning or gonna go by a different name or anything. I kind of just let it he'll see.
Right.
And he did see. And he asked my mom, his grandma, he was like, what is, he calls me uncle, and I have no problem with that because to me, that's what I am to you still. And she was like, well, she wants to go by Blaire now. And he got it instantly. There was no conversation about what it entails. There was no let me teach you about all the different gender variations and gender ideology. It was
I
just
love that though.
about.
It's so simple for him. It's a snap. What do they say? Do you say a snap judgment? Secondary sex characteristics.
Yeah, you just
But
observe
it. It's also the way you behave.
And if you know the person beforehand, even if you're a kid and they make a change, you just see it. To teach people to be kind to gay and trans people has all to do with teaching them about the ideology.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because not even all gay and trans people agree with the ideology. We don't. So what are you teaching them?
And most of the people watching this don't.
Exactly.
And we know it, and you guys need to start speaking up.
Please.
And also, you guys need to follow Blaire because she's coming up with an amazing project. I promise, when it's out, I will talk to you guys about it. But other than that, just obviously go and subscribe to her channel because she makes amazing content and we need more people like us in the world. Make sure you subscribe to me if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in a few days with a brand new video. We need to stop these crazy teachers.
We really do.
Maybe we just need to be teachers and just put an end to all these people.
Nah, I don't like kids.
Okay.
That's how we end the video.
That's how we end the video.
Bye guys.